Hi everybody, and so thank you for joining. This is a webinar to go through the perfect trilogy of apps for product businesses. So we're going to be looking at Prospect CRM, Unleashed, and also Xero as well, and how those apps form an ecosystem or an app stack. So I'm Kyle Hughes, I'm from Unleashed Software, and I've also got Stuart McLaren with me from Prospect Soft. And we'll be going through a bit about each company, a quick demo of the software and how they work together, and then create a sales invoice in Xero. And then we'll kind of go through some questions and pain points that accountants have when recommending apps to their clients. So Unleashed is we're the #1 Xero inventory add-on. So we serve thousands of clients globally because we have a northern and southern hemisphere presence. So we have our head office in Auckland, and we have our Bristol office as well, where we manage EMEA and North America from here, but mainly the UK. We have a strong UK-based team now, so there's like over 25 of us now. When I joined just under 4 years ago, it was just me, so and Steve. So we've grown a lot in that time. We were awarded, we were nominated for the Xero Industry App Partner. We're a finalist there. We also were Xero App Partner of the Month in July last year for creating a sales channel for our hard hit customers during COVID. And we're just basically, the kind of short of it is that we're a very good fit for product businesses. So wholesalers, distributors, and manufacturers are a really, really good fit. And our kind of tagline is a software to make, manage, and move your products. Here's a quick example of some customers that use Unleashed. You may recognize some of these from supermarkets. This is quite a food and beverage heavy slide, but we are a really good fit for food and beverage manufacturers. Yeah, it's not just kind of limited to like that sort of industry, really. I'll now let Stuart take over the slides quickly.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Carl. Thank you very much indeed. So, yeah, let me just introduce a little bit about Prospect. And I mean, I guess, yeah, much like Unleashed, we're a cloud software company. We partner with Xero and heavily with Unleashed and share an awful lot of customers with Unleashed. We are UK based, although actually this year we should be opening an office in Australia. And we're a Microsoft Gold partner. We actually host on Microsoft Azure. Everything that you see when we get into a bit of a demo is all hosted on Microsoft Azure. I thought it probably just, I know I'd love to be able to say, like Unleashed, that we're the #1 CRM for Xero. We're perhaps the #1 CRM for Unleashed, but the CRM market is pretty crowded, as I'm sure most of you are aware. There are literally hundreds of CRMs. And so I thought it was worth just trying to identify exactly where we fit and why, you know, we're here today talking to you and why we partner so strongly with Unleashed. And I guess the key thing is that we've actually been around in the UK for about 20 years, but we really focus on product-based businesses. So exactly the kind of businesses that use Unleashed. We integrate actually even for a free trial to show the kind of information that we can bring in from Unleashed and the kind of thing that you can do for the front office, the sales and marketing teams. And, you know, you look at any other CRM, really, their main focus is with service industries. And so they're just not geared really for to take in the kind of complexities that Unleashed have on a product file with special pricing, and then to deliver the kind of information that the sales and marketing department might want in a product-based business. So we're the #1 stock-aware CRM for Xero and Unleashed. And as the title of the webinar today said, it's kind of the perfect trilogy of apps for a product-based business. And hopefully what we're going to show you in a second will show you the power that's available when you combine these apps for your customers. One of the key things that both us and Unleashed talk about is business growth, and I'm sure it's something that your customers are after. And growth comes in many different forms, but predominantly looking for, higher order values, more frequent orders, and a better product spread of products across orders. And I mean, we all know what the last year has been like. Pretty dire in terms of the economy, and for an awful lot of businesses, for some product-based businesses particularly, and food and beverage in particular. I mean, we share a lot of small brewery companies as customers with Unleashed, and coffee companies, and obviously that's been particularly difficult for them. But it's amazing the diversification that's gone on. And so I took some stats looking back with this in mind, that the GDP percentage over the last year in 2020 was a minus 9.9%. And what I looked at was customers, and I was pretty punishing, really. I was looking at the average growth rate for tax year 2020 to 2021, so right in the heat of the pandemic, compared to the previous year, so 2019 to 2020, when not a lot was going on and everybody was living a kind of normal life and running a normal business. And I picked out all the businesses that had deployed Prospect CRM, typically with Unleashed and Xero, between March and July. So these were new customers that signed up between March and July last year. And I excluded startups because obviously their growth is exponential because they had no sales the previous year because they're startups. And across the customers, the average growth rate for those customers in that period was 38% for those that had this trilogy, this perfect trilogy of solutions. So I just felt that I had to share that because it's an incredible statistic and shows you what the right software can do for people, even in the hardest of times. So, this is kind of why we're saying you definitely should be recommending this trilogy of apps to your customers who are in the product businesses. And it's not by accident that growth happens. And we'll perhaps talk a bit more about implementation and so on later on. But we run through in our implementation a whole set of growth tiles for people to deploy. In fact, we call it the growth playbook for wholesalers, distributors, product-based businesses. And so in the bottom left-hand corner are the simple, quick things that they can do once they've deployed these systems. And I'll show you some of that. I'm not going to go through all of these tiles, but you can see that there is an actual plan that starts with some simple, quick and easy things that people can deploy to get some immediate business growth having deployed these solutions. So rather than trying to explain all those tiles, what we felt would be best is if we jump into a quick demonstration and just really kind of show you the key points. So this is the Prospect CRM system that you can see now. And I've opened it on the main account management dashboard, which typically is where you'd come into the system as an account manager. This is connected to an Unleashed. It's for the Unleashed fictitious demo business called That's My Jam, who you probably are familiar with. We sell jam and jam making equipment to all manner of people, including Mary Berry and Jamie Oliver and all sorts of people. And so we've got some data in here basically to show you. And so this is for the sales and marketing people to come in, and account managers can see straight away. You might be familiar with RFM. It's not our acronym. It's a standard process for analyzing your customers in a product-based business. And it stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. And so we deploy the algorithms in this process. You can Google RFM analysis for a wholesale business. And these are the sectors based on the amount of orders that people are placing, how often, the value, and how long they've been a customer. And it automatically segments them into your champions, your loyal customers, new customers, etc., promising. And so in that growth playbook was to start calling your at risk and your don't lose and needs attention people and find out exactly what's going on. We also then have affectionately known as PAGE, the Prospect AI growth engine, which analyzes customers' orders and all the history. If you've had Unleashed if your customers have had Unleashed for a while, it brings all that history in and tells me, based on the maximum and minimum time between orders, and therefore the average time between orders, and the maximum, minimum, and average values, these people should have placed orders by now. So by the 22nd of March, the jamming factory, based on their history, should have placed a £4,000 order. So I can drill straight to them and find out why they haven't placed that order. So this is one of those very quick and easy bottom left-hand corner growth playbook tiles where I can just ring these people and see if I can get those orders off them, because based on their history, they should have been placing orders. So what I'm going to do though today is we're going to just very quickly show you going to an existing customer in the system, sending them perhaps a quick quote, and then taking an order from them and passing that through to Unleashed. So let's search for one of our favorite customers, Ozone Coffee Makers. And we can see they've got a couple of branches, and we've got Robin who works there at the London Ozone Coffee Roasters. Actually, it's Robin that's calling me, so I'll go to Robin's record, who works at Ozone Coffee Roasters. And Robin wants a quote from me and to hopefully place an order if I get the quote right. So I'm going to add a new quote, and this is for a stock order that Robin is after. So I'm going to create a new quote for a stock order for Ozone Coffee Roasters, and I'm straight into a product search. And what we're looking at here is the Unleashed product file that we bring in and have access to. And so I can see how many of each thing are available and what the price is, and I can do a full screen search if I want to. So let's add some apricot jam. So some of the appetizing apricot jam, we'll perhaps put, let's put 20 of those on this order. And any special pricing is recognized, so 20% discount. And we're going to look for some blueberry, blissful blueberry jam, one of my favorites. And so we'll put 20 of those on as well. So a fairly simple order for a couple of items, and they get 5% discount. So all that pricing is controlled in Unleashed. So I can send this as an email, just a quick basic email quote if I wanted to Robin, and attach various things. I could send it as a PDF. There's a whole load of options here in terms of the documents that we can send. But having got the price for the purpose of demonstration, Robin says she'd like to go ahead. I'm going to put the reference number in here, Prospect stock order. Oops. And process this order through with a free delivery in this case. So we'll say there's no delivery charge, and it's the standard delivery address. And so that order gets immediately written from a quote in our system into an order into Unleashed. And so what I can do is then go and have a look at that order. And here's the order number that's been passed through. Just before I hand back to Carl to take on that order, I just want to show you the kind of history that we've got on Ozone. We've got a full history of everything they've ever bought. There's that order I've just put through. But I can open any previous order as well from the CRM system if I want to see that order in Unleashed, and it'll take me straight through from the link to a previous order in Unleashed, and I can do the same with the stock items and so on and so forth. So you can see that it's a kind of a very joined up system in terms of what's available and the linking that I can do straight through, and at the click of a button I can write an order in. So let me hand back to Kyle, and he'll pick that order up and take it on through in Unleashed.
Thank you, Stuart. So I'm just gonna, this is the dashboard, but I want to go to that order first. So we go to view sales orders on the left-hand side there. So these, it automatically shows you the status as open. So like ones that need actioning, that need shipping or invoicing. And the order that Stuart just did was this one. We've got the customer reference in here. So like that API connection is genuinely real time. Like, you know, there's absolutely no need to kind of wait for the systems to connect. Like they work seamlessly and in real time. So we want to, you know, let's pick Robin. She's the main contact there. It changes the delivery address that we've got assigned to Robin as well. We've got the quantities that that Stuart's put in there. We've got the live gross profit margin per line item. You can see here that they're making actually a loss on that. So like if you have the role permissions like I do in this account as a super user, I could change that so that we make a profit on that line item. But then there's always the you know, there's customer pricing, which Ozone have because they're a high value customer. They are eligible for a price set. So you can revert back to that. If you wanted to add any shipping charges down here, you can, or any other charges. And there's that comment that Stuart put in from Prospect CRM as well. So again, you can email the order to the customer. And yeah, you can email it from here if they're paying an invoice like a pro forma invoice, and then it gives you like a kind of overall profit, gross profit margin, and profit for the whole order. In Unleashed, especially with like food and beverage, but like anything that's perishable, we have the batch tracking feature. So these products are batch tracked when you have to pick an expiry date. So I'm going to pick 20 from that one, and then 20 from that one at the top as well. A split batch. So with an Unleashed sales order, there's two steps. There's the invoice and there's the shipment. You can do a partial invoice. You can do a split shipment if you don't have all the stock, but you want to get some of the stock to the customer. If you don't have the stock, you can create a purchase order from within a sales order as well. And then once you've received that in, you can fulfill that sales order. I'll try and keep this nice and simple. So I'm just going to complete a full invoice. Just conscious that we don't have too long on this webinar, but then, so it's all been invoiced, Xero shipped, and then here is the, oh, hold on. There it is. Okay, so so we then create the sales invoice to, oh, it's good that this is working, isn't it? Spare me a second, sorry. So we've got it's literally a carbon copy of what we've processed in Prospect and then Unleashed, and then we process it into Xero. But it's basically a sales invoice to approve for that extra layer of security. There may be like a salesperson processing it in Unleashed, but the accounts team or the accountant or the partner would want to kind of double check it. So you'd approve it from there, and then you could email the Xero invoice with like the payable like online invoice link, or you could email the go back to this. You could email the Unleashed invoice template that you can design in the doc designer, which might have like bank account details. So if you go to, so you can email the Unleashed template. You could email the Xero invoice from Unleashed as well, and there's that link that didn't appear earlier. And then all I need to do from here is create the shipment, which like isn't involved with Xero at all. Obviously, the invoice is what we need Xero for. But the invoice, the shipment, sorry, would be pick lists, packing slips. Are we using a courier? Do we need tracking numbers? I'm not sure why it's taking so long to load. But yeah, basically, so the shipment is basically in Unleashed basically, and you'd create pick lists from Unleashed. Xero wouldn't be involved in that. So if I just quickly, so this is our dashboard. So this is our BI module, business intelligence module. This is high level for the last quarter compared to the prior period in October to December. This is our high level kind of sales revenue, new customers, stock on hand value as well. So this is just purely we have BI for the core functions of the business: purchasing, inventory, production, sales, and customers. So these are just like the high level kind of highlights, I guess, of what's happened in that period. If I then click into sales, if if I click on last quarter again to get some more data, this gives you high-level sales revenue, gross profit margins for all customers, all sales channels, all product groups. Everything is. This is just a snapshot of what we did in January to March. But then by clicking on these, you filter by the records for that customer. So I've already clicked on it here. So because we did an Ozone coffee sale, I wanted to look at how they've performed in the last quarter as well. So sales revenue, like everything's on the up. So they're doing really well. There's a big peak there as well. So we can drill down into why that was. What happened on the 30th of March. They look like they're very heavy on the B2B portal, and Amber's looks like the salesperson there. But you could drill down into what products are they buying. How can we maybe get them to buy more products that they haven't been buying recently as well. So yeah, this is our BI module, and it's definitely worth showing you. And I think as a partner as well, you would be able to access this on your client's accounts and even on your partner account to show it off, and you'd be able to add more value to your clients if they had any questions about our best selling product, or who should we target to try and buy more things that haven't been buying from us recently as well. So now let's go back to this. Oh God, sorry about that. So did the demo. Now we want to do like a poll. Basically, we want to kind of get you guys involved. So we wanted to know your biggest pain points really for when you're recommending solutions to your clients. It comes up a lot in conversations that I have, that they're worried about component softwares working together. They'd prefer to have an all-in-one solution. So if you could ask questions in the chat, that would probably be easier actually. So if you've got any questions in here, that'd be perfect if you guys
yeah, just pop them in the chat and then we can
yeah, I'm not sure if you can see guys, but yeah, if anyone has any questions in the chat or the Q&A.
So Harry has said his one of his top pain points is mainly integration setup and probably moving from one system to another. Well, so hopefully we've shown you. I mean, in terms of the setup of the integration, it literally is a matter of putting the keys in from Unleashed to the Prospect system, and they're connected. And moving from one system to the other, as you can see, we literally have buttons on all the relevant records that just seamlessly move you across from one system to the other. But I mean, I agree, Harry, it's integrated systems in the past have been somewhat less integrated than perhaps we're able to show today, I would say. Don't you think, Carl?
Yeah, 100%. And I think I can see there's a question from Andy as well. And I think this is probably more aimed at you, Stu. But can you the can assemble quantities? Can you show the can assemble quantities from within Prospect? That's a question from Andy.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is for a bill of materials.
Yeah.
We don't actually, no. We only show the quantity of finished products available. It has been a request a couple of times, and I guess it depends on the business. So I think it is an idea in our ideas portal. Obviously, we do know the quantities available of each individual item. And so it's information that we have, but I guess but depending on the business, as I say, a lot of people sell the individual items as well. And so, yeah, at the moment, we don't actually show the, so on a finished product, we don't show the can assemble from all the component items. I'm afraid, but it is an idea, and I guess if enough people, enough customers ask for it, we have an ideas portal where customers can vote on. I guess it hasn't made it to the top yet, otherwise we'd do it. But I'll perhaps add your vote to it, Andy. And then so Nigel has also asked, just regarding the quotes creating CRM, if the customer is not an actual customer, only a lead prospect, you have access to. Yes, so we do, Nigel, yes. So if it's a prospective customer, as you say, they'd only exist in CRM initially. And yeah, as you start a quote, you can choose the pricing. I mean, if it's a price list, you can choose the price list, or you can set the discount if it's a particular discount on a particular product in the CRM. And then when we, if that quote is accepted and the customer wants to place an order, then part of our functionality will allow you to create a new customer from that record into Unleashed. And part of that process is putting them on a particular price list and selecting their customer type for Unleashed and so on and so forth. So yeah, it does, all of that works all the way through as you'd hope it would.
Cool. And I think as well, like something that we've been chatting about, you know, how, like I said before, like Unleashed is arguably the best inventory app out there, or like according to the Xero reviews, Prospect's one of the best CRMs out there, and Xero arguably is the best, like, you know, accounting software out there. So like the best in breed kind of market leaders and what they do, there's no reason why you know, the connection and the integrations are genuinely seamless in real time. I think it's really hard to get a client on board with that sort of thinking processes, because, you know, maybe they've had an all-in-one solution, or they've always been using Sage because it was like the only option out there like 20 years ago. So it's just, I think the only way that really we can show how seamlessly they work, I know there's a webinars like this, but you know, just to get a client on a demo, and that always kind of showcases how they actually work as an ecosystem, as an app stack. It's really hard to kind of talk to someone on the phone or over email to try and like show them how they work. You have to see it in action really to know kind of how seamless they can be. So that, I think that probably comes up quite a lot, and probably is one of the biggest pain points for you guys when advising clients as well.
So Andy's just dropped another question in. Can you use Prospect to give customers a portal to obtain certificates associated with their purchase products? The short answer is yes. In fact, I think both systems have the ability to give portals. Unleashed has a B2B purchasing portal, as in fact we do, as includes, you know, things like obviously for non-customers, they can generate their own quotation and so on. But yeah, pretty much all of the CRM system is available through our CMS system, our content management solution. So we can do service portals for people to log service tickets remotely, warranty claims, those kind of things. But also, yes, we can do the serving of documents to customers, yeah, from within. So they can see their complete sales history in one of our portals. And yes, you could absolutely allow them to download any kind of certification or documents or product, you know, technical sheets or whatever, really. So thankfully that's a yes, at least for one of yours, Andy. I think there's another one from Michael here. How will the systems work when a client buys in multiple currencies? Well, so both systems actually are multi-currency. So well, perhaps I should leave that to Carl, because we kind of respect what's going on in Unleashed.
Yeah, so we we do support multi-currency. You have to manually set the currency exchange rates in the settings, and I know that like Xero might use XE, and there's like automatic ones out there, but yeah, you kind of have to keep an eye on it in the settings. But there is a recently found out there's a Google extension that can pull through like a live currency rate if you wanted that instead. We've kind of left it up to the user and the customer how to kind of process that. But ultimately, it converts. Say you're buying in USD, it converts the say the purchase order reference and the purchase invoice in Xero to your base currency, which I assume it would be GBP for a UK customer. So it does that conversion for you. So yeah, you just need to make sure that you've got the currency exchange rate set up, and then the customer or the supplier, you need to pick that currency and it will do that conversion for you.
And we effectively bring in those currency tables from Unleashed and respect them. So, you know, whatever you've got set up in Unleashed, when you went to the customer, that would be the currency that you were quoting in. And I think we've got another one from oh, sorry, yes, you've got that. Just pass that one on. Okay.
Okay. I think we've got a few more slides. So here's
Sorry,
just
Kyle, I think Michael's just got one more question in the Q&A.
Oh, sorry. About the multiple currencies. Is that Michael's question? Can one customer account accept two currencies? In Unleashed, one customer has its own base currency, and it can only be one, but they can sell in as many currencies as they need if they've got customers all over the world. But one customer account has one base currency. Same with suppliers as well.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I was just going to say that this is our kind of screenshots of our refer a client to Prospect and to Unleashed. Both very kind of similar, but yeah, I think the short of it is that the Unleashed and Prospect as well, but like the referral partner program is completely free to join. You get an account of Unleashed and Prospect CRM for life. Your clients will get their first month subscription for free if they use your referral link and they come through you guys. Usually you would chat to either Stuart or myself about a client to see if it's a good fit before you kind of progress it to maybe one of the sales teams, give a discovery call and a tailored demo. But ultimately, yeah, as a partner, they get their first month subscription for free, and you get free access to any client's account because the back end of Unleashed and Prospect recognize that you're partner users. So your clients don't need to pay for your user license, basically. And then it's up to them how much access they grant you. They might make you a super user. They might want to give you limited access. But ultimately, you get free access to any client's accounts. And then when you log in, you can toggle down between all the clients that are using both systems as well.
Yeah, and it's identical process basically for either Prospect or Unleashed. So yeah, it works in exactly the same way.
And I think as well, like
at the bottom of this slide, I think.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I think as well, it makes your life as their advisors and accountants a lot easier because you can log into systems, and like if they're all using Prospect, Unleashed, and CRM, then and Xero, then you can easily log into each system as a partner. You can toggle down between your clients, and it just makes your life easier, not having to know loads of other systems as well. So it's definitely a good kind of a good way to kind of get your clients in the cloud and know about those apps that do work for them. But yeah, I think we can both pride ourselves on being UK based, having UK local support and expertise on not just Prospect and Unleashed, but all the other apps integrated like Xero and other apps out there. Both companies have a very expert like sales team, support team, the onboarding team, and we can provide as much detail as you need of like setup guides, onboarding checklists, just so you've got everything in your hand, like ready before you even sign up to each software. And yeah, we can always provide free trials and demos. We don't charge for demos, of course. We want to show people how it works, but usually we would want to have a discovery call with the accountant and the client, ideally, to make sure we go through all the questions. We've got scoping questions to ask, and then we can tailor a demo and like laser focus it to what that client needs to see, and then hopefully from there they'll know whether Unleashed will work or not. And Prospect, sorry.
Yeah, I mean the beauty of the free trials are that they're integrated, so they genuinely see exactly how it's going to work for them. And if they've had one or other solutions for a little while, they can literally get immediate value and growth even on that 21-day free trial. I mean, we've that dashboard that I showed you, we've had customers that have had Unleashed for a little while and then plug in the CRM system and instantly get all the data and can literally start ringing people who should have placed an order by now in the free trial period.
Yeah, and I think you touched on it then, like you can connect an Unleashed free trial to a live Xero account to pull through all your nominal codes, and you can connect it to a Xero trial as well to do some dummy transactions. So definitely make the most of those trials that you can have, and make the most of the testing, and even if you put data into a trial and you have to subscribe using that trial, it will say like, do you want to keep this data and use it for live data? And so it's not a waste of time or effort either. It's kind of getting ahead of the game.
Yeah, it's no smoke and mirrors. It's genuinely integrated trials.
Yeah. Okay. And then here's here's one of our mutual customers, Whitewash Labs, basically they're using Prospect initially to create quotes and manage their customer relationship and know kind of when to message them and reach out to place an order, pushing that record to Unleashed, with maybe like custom pricing, and then pushing that financial record to Xero has made a huge difference to how they run their business, and they've been able to grow substantially with that. And there is actually a video of that case study online, I believe.
Yes, I think there is. Yes, yeah, but I mean, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of customers shared now, and this integration has been running for 2.5 years. So it's it's rock solid stuff that we're talking about here, shared by hundreds and hundreds of customers.
Definitely. And then I think we've kind of done our Q&A, but
yes, if there are any final.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's any.
We've overrun as always a little bit, but it's nice that people are asking questions. Yeah,
definitely. So we have overrun a little bit. So okay, well, thank you everyone for your time then. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll encourage you to start referring some clients and have a look in a bit more detail yourselves. But thank you for your attention.
Yeah, hopefully that was useful, and we'll follow up with recordings and links that you need if you do want to kind of get in touch and chat to us directly, and we can go from there. But it'd be good to chat to you guys post session.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you from Nigel. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you, Nigel. We'll have a good day, guys.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.